The oracle did not offer comfort, it offered a path. For harm he could not undo, Heracles must submit to King Eurystheus and accept whatever tasks the man devised. Eurystheus hid from thunder in a bronze jar and wrote orders that sounded like endings. First came the valley of heat and dust where the Nemean Lion nested. Spears snapped on its hide, arrows skittered off like rain. Heracles chased it into a cave and changed his distance, no more clubbing at armor, but grappling close, fingers behind the jaw. The cave shook, then went quiet. He wore the pelt, a reminder that strength adapts. In the marsh of Lerna, the Hydra hissed from stagnant water. One neck became two each time the blade flashed. Heracles backed to firmer ground and called to his nephew Iolaus. While Heracles struck, Iolaus followed with fire, sealing each stump to ash. The creature died by two pairs of hands. Some victories are plural by design. Next came neglect made visible, the Augean Stables, years deep in filth. Heracles walked the riverbank, measured current with his eyes, then cut channels with a mattock and let two rivers do in an afternoon what shovels could not in a season. The stalls shone, the lesson stood, reframe the problem and the weight shifts. In Arcadia, bronze-beaked, iron-feathered birds hid in reeds and tore whatever passed beneath them. The swamp swallowed footsteps. Hunting blind was a way to die. Heracles climbed to higher ground, rang bronze clappers until the marsh itself seemed to jump, and loosed arrows as the flock burst into clean sky. Drag trouble into daylight. It gives you angles. Other tasks taught quieter powers. He hunted the Cerberus Hind for a year without harming it, learning to hold back the hand that could crush. He wrestled the Cretan Bull and let it live, mastering a creature instead of destroying it. He took Diomedes' mares, trained to eat flesh, and turned cruelty back on its master. The herd learned gentler work. He drove the red cattle of Geryon across hot flats until endurance learned the taste of dust and salt. At the world's edge, a walled garden glowed where no map admitted land. The Hesperides guarded trees hung with gold. Heracles met Atlas, bent under the sky, and asked for help. "Hold this," Atlas said, shifting the heaven into Heracles' palms, and strode off to fetch the apples. When he returned, he offered to carry the burden forever. Heracles smiled and asked for a moment to pad his shoulders. Atlas took back the dome. Heracles took the fruit. Cleverness is no crime when the burden is borrowed and returned fair. The last labor turned downward. No sword, the oracle had said, no armor. Heracles descended into the underworld where breath smokes and names go quiet. At Hades' gate, the three-headed hound stood, tail lashing like a whip of snakes. Heracles asked permission, then wrapped his arms around the terrible necks and endured the struggle without killing the guardian of a realm that was not his. Cerberus came up to daylight roaring. Eurystheus ducked deeper into his jar. Heracles returned the hound and closed what he had opened. Not all strength is conquest, some is stewardship. When the list was done, the world was altered. Fewer monsters in the hills, fewer lies in the reeds, fewer excuses in dirty stalls. Heracles was altered too. He had learned to change tactics when force failed, to invite help when problems multiplied, to cut a channel instead of swinging harder, to frighten trouble into the open, to practice restraint as a form of power, to be clever without being false, to carry what was his and return what was not. His penance did not erase the past, but the work gave his future enough structure to hold that sorrow without collapse. People remember the labors as a parade of feats. They are also a manual. Adapt, ask, reframe, reveal, restrain, think, return. Do these long enough, and even the heaviest doors open, first for others, and then at last for you.